Okay, so let's start with just a check-in with your posture and your core. So toes and knees and hips aligned. Okay, hands on the ribs and just take some breath. So we're breathing in and feeling the rib cage expanding. And breathing out and feeling those abdominals drawing in. Okay. And then let's gently sweep the hands around and just start to pick those heels up as you go and just getting a little bit more range into the hips. Relax your shoulders. Breathe. Bigger moves. And then from there, let's take it down and round and up. Big circles, as feels good for you. Changing direction. In those knees as you go. Make sure that you've muted yourself. Keep breathing. And release. Okay, we'll take those feet a little wider with the toes out. And take an in-breath to reach up and an exhale to sweep it through. An in-breath to reach it up and exhale to sweep it through. So we're just warming the body up. Making sure that all those muscles surrounding the spine are ready and opened up. Then let's take the arms out and tuck the toes in and twist on the in and reach down on the out. Twist on the in breath. Down on the out. Make sure you've muted yourself. In breath twist. Exhale reach. Leg straight as feels good for you. And then let's change that position. So you got one leg forwards, one leg back. And we'll just bend that front knee a little bit. Bring the back knee up. And then reach back. Up. And back. Up. And back. If you want a little bit more than that, as you reach back, you could reach down. Up. And down if you like. Standing leg is taking the strain there. And then we're going to switch legs. Okay, other leg forward, knee and foot aligned. Knee comes up, reach back. Coming into this running action. If you don't like that running action, hands can stay on the hips. And just bring the knee up. So working into those hip flexors. And if you want a little bit more, you can reach down. Knee comes up, you can reach down. Knee comes up, you can reach down. Building some body heat. All right. Come to the back of your mat. Set your feet hip distance apart. Stand tall. Breathe. Here we're going to do our roll down. Okay, so imagine the wall is directly behind you. Chin goes to chest. You roll down from your neck. Shoulders, upper back, middle spine. Legs as straight as feels good for you. And breathe. And then slowly retrace your way back up. And stand tall. The shoulders back and down, belly strong. Pelvic floor deep abs, chin to chest. Roll down through your spine. Breathe. scooping the belly in. Feeling that stretch through the back of your body. Once you're down, your legs could go to your feet or to your legs or on the floor. Bending one knee, bend the other knee, bend one knee, bend the other knee. And breathe. So we're going to bend the right leg and take the left hand up. Open up. And bend the left knee. And open up. Stay with your breath. Then let's bend both knees and place the hands on the thighs. Send the hips back and lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, tuck and scoop and round into our standing cat. In breath, look up and arch. Remember, we are working from the tailbone, finishing with the head. In breath, your tailbone away. And exhale into your cat. In breath, your tailbone away. And exhale into your cat. As you come up to your cat, we're just going to try and stand on one leg. So we've got to think core. Okay, we've got to find a point to focus on and breathe. We come back down, 2 feet hip distance, hands on thighs, hips go back, chest lift, arch. Exhale, rounding the back into your deep cat, roll it up, changing the leg that you're going to stand on, and reach it up, and breathe, finding that point to focus on. And then once again, we come back down with the hands on the thighs, send the tailbone away, arch on the in-breath, exhale, scooping around, come up, into your balance again, standing tall, hands up, knee up, finding that point to focus on, coming back down, hands to the thighs, send the tailbone away, look up on the in-breath, on the out-breath, tuck your tailbone, scoop your belly, finish with your chin, coming up to stand on one leg, reach it up, and then release. The hands are up, the chin goes to the chest and you roll it down through your spine, as if you're rolling over an imaginary barrel now, scooping the belly in and keeping the legs as straight as feels good for you. Walking the hands out and taking it into a downward facing dog. Feet hip distance, pedal those heels up and down. And breathe, opening up through your shoulders. And stretching through the back of the body. From here, we're going to shift our weight to a high plank position. Draw the belly in. Breathe. From here, we're either going to drop your one knee down, or you keep your knee off the floor and we twist around to a side plank. Okay, and we lift the lower waist and breathe. Maybe you can drop a knee here, come back and switch. You could drop a knee or keep the knee off the floor into your side plank, lifting your lower waist, breathing. Drop it down to a low plank. You can have your knees up off the floor, or you can drop your knees to the floor. If your knees are on the floor, start straightening out at one knee and then the other. If your knees are off the floor, start tapping your knees down and breathing. So we've made it onto our paddleboard. So we're trying to keep it steady and not capsize. So we're either knees down lightly and we're straightening out at the knee, keeping the pelvis stable, or we've got the knees off and we're tapping down. And we're breathing. 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and come down and rest on your forearms in your Sphinx posture or Cobra, lifting your chest and lengthening out through the front of your body. Breathing, feeling the elbows drawing in towards the ribs, and then bring the hands further to the shoulders and tuck the elbows in, and then lift the nose and the chin and the chest, and then press through the floor. You're not trying to really straighten up the arms fully. You don't want to hunch up through your shoulders. You want to think length through the front of the body. And then we slowly return down, relaxing the neck, the elbows staying at the side. Stay with your breath. We lift the nose and the chin, the chest, and then press and breathe. And then slowly coming down to the floor and breathing. This time we lift the hands off the floor, hovering, elbows into your sides. Lift the nose and the chin and the chest. Look up, then gently place the hands, and then see if you can get a little bit more length through the front and a bit more work into the back. Breathing, slowly coming down. We'll try that once more. Lift the hands up first. They're hovering off the floor as you lift your nose, your chin, and your chest. Your belly is strong, and then you place your hands down, and then you come up, and you breathe. And then we slowly bring it down and take the hands down and rest the head down and breathe. Take some breath. From here, you're going to lift those feet off the floor and gently give me a leg kick. So working those lower back muscles, those lumbar extensor muscles, breathing, pulling everything tight in, kicking from your hips and breathing. If you want a little bit more than this, let's take the arms out to the side and then press and bring back and press and bring back. Otherwise, the hands stay as they are on the floor. Long in the neck, pulled in through your center, keeping the elbows high. Breathe out to press, breathe in to return. Everything strong for 3, 2, 1. We're going to push back into child's posture and take some breath. And then we're going to come to hands under your shoulders and knees under your hips, drawing everything tight in. From here, we're going to take your right knee up. Exhale up. Inhale, bring it back to the other knee. So we're hovering that knee off the floor. We're keeping the body central on the mat. We're breathing out to lift and into return. So remember this session, we're just moving quickly between the core exercises. Trying to lift that knee up and keep the body central and steady and get as much range as you can. Breathe out to lift and into return. And then release. We're going to go onto our side to take the weight off the hands, elbow down on the floor. Bend the knees. So you want your heels in line with your buttocks and your elbow underneath your shoulder, rolling the mat up where you need. Lifting your lower waist up, releasing the top hand, sweeping up and over on the out breath. And in breath, return. We're now hitting the side of that abdominal wall, your obliques, internal and external obliques. Exhale to lift. Inhale, return. If you want more than this, you could straighten your top leg out and you could lift your leg up as you come up and sweep up and over. Okay, so you could do that. If you want a little bit more loading, this is what you can do. Otherwise, stay with the foundation. And then we're going to release. We're going to come up and straighten that top leg if it's not already, and come to the hand, and then come up and reach up. Look up on the in, and then sweep through on the out breath. In breath, we open up, and exhale, sweep through. For those of us that want a more challenge, taking your knee off the floor. In breath up, exhale, sweep. In breath up, exhale, sweep. Keep the lower waist lifted. And then we come back to hands under the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. Drawing the belly and setting yourself up. Breathe. We're going to take the left knee up to the side and then exhale to tap it back through. In breath to open. Exhale to tap. So again, trying to keep central on the mat. Trying to find that range. into the hips whilst maintaining that stability on your paddleboard, breathing out to lift and into return. Relaxing the neck, pelvic floor, deep abs all the way. Breathing out to lift and into return. And last one. Going to spin around on your mat to do side orientation here, elbow under shoulder, heels tucked, bum and heels aligned, lifting the lower waist, and then up and over on the out breath, and in breath return. Breathe out to lift up and over, and in breath return, nice and light. If you want a little bit more than this, straighten out your top leg and maybe come up, lifting the top leg as you lift the hips. Sweep up and over, in breath back. Otherwise, stay with the foundation with the knees stacked, trying to really maintain that lift in your lower waist and lifting the hips as high as we can. Breathing. In breath down, exhale up and over, and then release. Straighten the top leg and the elbow becomes the hand now. Okay, the lower waist is lifted. We lift up and we reach up and look up to the hand and then sweep under with as much range as you can and reach up on the in-breath. Exhale, sweep through. In-breath, open up. If you want more than this, come off of your knee. In-breath up. Exhale through. Or work with that foundation with the knee on the floor. And release. Come down onto your mat and lie on your back. Set your feet up hip distance apart and take your first two fingers, hip bones, thumbs under. We're doing pelvic tilt. In breath arch, exhale imprint. In breath arch, exhale imprint. Keep your knees steady. Just that pelvic tilt. Long in the neck. Chin slightly tucked. In breath arch, exhale imprint. Then place your palms on the floor facing up. Take an in-breath to arch and exhale to imprint, and then peel that spine up off the floor. Lift the hips. From here, we're going to peel up, which we just have, and then we're going to curl back down. So we're going to pull the belly in and send everything down from the upper back. Working your way down to your sacrum. Once you're down, you take an in-breath to arch, exhale to imprint. Peel up from the sacrum, working your way up. Lifting the hips, squeezing through the inner thighs. Once we're up, we're going to take a nice deep in-breath, pull the belly in, and we'll lower it all back down again. Keeping the knees nice and steady. Once you're down, it's an in-breath arch, exhale imprint. Peeling up from the sacrum, working your way up sequentially through your spine. Once you're up, you're going to slowly work your way back down from your upper back and take some breath. Okay, we're going to do that once again. In breath arch, exhale imprint, peeling up, lift, 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 lift. And then we're going to slowly work our way back down to the floor and breathe. Okay, so from here, once you're back down, take the right leg to a knee fold. So that is the knee above the hip. And then the left leg to knee fold, the knee above the hip. Relax through the feet aligned with your knees. And then just send the right foot down, exhale. And then send the left foot, bringing the knees back to level with the hip. Breathing out to tap, into return. So nice and steady on your paddleboard. Everything switched on. Breathing out to tap it into return. Coming back to that position, bring the hands up and placing them by your knees, your thighs. Then from here, a bit of brain gym, the right arm. So this one, your right arm and your left leg are going to reach away. That's the only thing. Everything else stays as it is. Then we come back and take an in-breath. Then we do the left arm on the right leg, reaching away. And if that was too much straightening the legs, do your toe tap to the mat. Breathing, in breath center, returning, keep switching. Remember, one set of limbs is staying in place. The alternate limbs are moving apart. And all the time, we're trying not to adjust that position of the spine or the rib cage. So we've got to draw tight in through those deep postural muscles. Breathe. And last one. And then bring those feet together and let the knees drop out to the side during a butterfly stretch. Take some breath, place the hands on the thighs, and when you're ready, we're going to reach and curl the head, the neck, the shoulders. Keep the chin tucked as if you've got an orange between your chin and your chest, and then roll it back down. And then curl up. Exhale, curl up. And inhale, return. Exhale, curl up. And inhale, return. So trying to get as much lift and as range as you can. Exhale, curl up. Squeezing through those deep postural muscles. And one more. And bring those knees in, hug them in, take the head side to side, release your neck. Breathe. Your knees in, your arms come up now, and you drop your shoulder blades down and we stay steady. So in this position with the knees together and the arms up, we're going to slowly take the knees to the right and keep the hands as they are, and only go as far as you can without losing that balance, that control. And then come back on the in, and then over to the other side. Keeping the hands as they are and adding that twist. Coming back on the in-breath and then over to the side. Breathing out as you go one way, breathing in to return. Keeping it steady, hands are steady, breath all the way. And one more. And then we're going to take those hands behind the knees. Okay, so from here, we're going to curl up. And what we're going to try and do is curl up, but keep the feet off the floor as we roll it up. Okay, so we are here and we're trying to maintain that stillness. And then we're just going to gently tap the feet down, one at a time, nice and steady. If you don't need your hands behind your knees, you could release your hands. If you want more than that, you straighten your legs and you tap and tap the heel. Okay, otherwise bend the knees, hands keep you behind the knees or hands up. Stay with your breath. Take the hands behind the knees, gently roll it back, hug those knees in. Circle your knees out and round, take some breath. Okay, we're going to get ready to go again. Tuck the head in, hands behind the knees, belly nice and strong. Roll it up, come to balance on your paddleboard. Tap those toes down, either hands behind the knees. If it's too much, you can also take your hands down and give yourself support. Doing this, you could have your hands up, yeah, or you could, the big one is the legs stay straight, and we tap down. Take the hands behind the knees, or hands on the floor, roll it back, hug the knees in, circle the knees round. Take some breaths, switching. We're obviously going to do it once more. I like to do things in threes. Okay. Magic number. We're going to curl up onto those sit bones. So hands could be behind knees, hands could be on the floor, hands could be away, up to you. Tap, tap. More work, straighten the legs out. Tap, tap, and breathe. Strong in your center, breath all the way. 3, 2, 1, hands behind knees. We're going to lie back. Now we're going to stretch everything out. So stretch fingertips, toes, breathe. Hug those knees in. Take your left foot on the floor, place your right foot on your left thigh. And then draw the heel up. Just press the inside of the knee. Stay with the breath, lift the left leg off the floor and reach for the back of the left knee and pull in. Head can be up or down. Just take a gentle stretch there into the hips. Keep pulling in and breathing. Switch legs, right foot down, left foot on top of right thigh. And then you could lift that right leg off the floor, pulling in, head up or down. And breathe. And then you're going to hug those knees in. Take your arms out to the side. Take your knees to one side and look over the opposite shoulder. Keeping the shoulders down and staying with your breath. And then you're going to switch to the other side and look over the other shoulder. Stay with the breath. From here, hug your knees in. You're either rolling to your side to come up, or you can just roll up. Okay, straighten those legs out. Okay, and then push the heels away. Reach the arms out, tuck the chin, reach down, reach forward. Gentle stretch, hands down your legs or your feet. And breathe. From here, we're going to spin it round. Coming round onto your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. On the in-breath, we're going to look up and tailbone away. On the out, you're going to tuck the tailbone, scoop the belly and round the back into cat, finishing with the head. Tailbone leads, look up on the in, arch, then tuck in, tailbone under and scoop and round and finishing with the chin. In-breath, tailbone away. Sail into your cat. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, take the hands forward, lift the hips, come up to down dog. Stretch it all back, pull the belly in, open up the shoulders, breathe. Walk your hands to your feet. Keep your head down and then slowly roll it up, restacking your spine. Head's going to be the last thing to come up. Once we are up, we're going to take your hands up, get hold of one wrist. Go to the side, side bend, send the hips one way, pull the arms the other. Switch and pull and reach and breathe. And just take the hands behind and interlace your fingers and just give the chest and the shoulders a stretch and give the neck a little release one side and the other. And release. From here, release the hands and then reach it up on the in-breath. And exhale, come down, give yourself a hug and in-breath to reach it up and exhale to come down and in-breath up. And exhale down. And then shake it out and loosen off. All right, so we packed it in, but that's the idea. So just try and work with your best form that you can. Breathing, core, all of that, and hopefully getting stronger and stronger in those deep postural muscles. Okay.